Good morning, students. So today we are going to learn about the spermatogenesis and oogenesis. This is the lecture for the class 12th biology, and now you will be understanding about what is the process of spermatogenesis in male and oogenesis in female. So you all are aware that spermatogenesis and oogenesis are the processes called as gametogenesis, means gamete formation. This is sexual reproduction first step, that gamete should be formed in respective organs or glands. So number one difference is site. Where does gametogenesis take place? So spermatogenesis take place in the reproductive organs of the male is testes. So where in testes? Seminiferous tubules. So seminiferous tubules is the, we can say, site of, if question comes, site of spermatogenesis, so it will be seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules present in testicular lobules. So in the testes there are compartments in which there are 250 or 200 compartments in which there are 1 to 3 highly coiled tubes called as seminiferous tubules. So in them the spermatogenesis take place. And because these tubules are having linings called germinal epithelium. So the inner layer of the seminiferous tubule has germinal epithelium, which is having special cells or sperm mother cells called spermatogonia. Spermatogonia are the cells which will undergo the meiosis and then will form the gametes. And also has Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells is also present, which will give the nourishment to the growing spermatogonia. Now outside each tubules there are nerve fibers, blood vessels and Leydig cells. So outside, outer space of each tubule will have some cells. These cells are Leydig cells. So FSH is the hormone which is helping the Sertoli cells, follicle stimulating hormones in males. It will help the Sertoli cells to give proper nutrition to the developing spermatogonia. And under the effect of LH, under the effect of pituitary hormone LH, the Leydig cells are going to secrete the androgens, means testosterone. So testosterone is secreted by Leydig cells. Now start. When does it start? So the spermatogenesis starts at puberty and occur till the death. Only the number decreases, number of sperm production decreases with age in the males, but it starts at the puberty. Result. What is the result of this process? Means what kind of cells are produced in the males during spermatogenesis. Meiosis 1 and meiosis 2 will produce equal size cells resulting in 4 spermatids. So equal size cells are produced. The result is we get 4 spermatids. And spermatid differentiates into later on to the spermatozoas. These 4 spermatids are going to change their shape, change their function, and they are able to now swim. This is converted into spermatozoa. They have tail. With tail, and this process is called, this process of maturation of spermatid into sperm is known as spermiogenesis. And the release of the full formed sperm, when the sperms are already very mature and they are completely in their shape, then the sperm release from the ready testes to the vas deferens and epididymis is called spermiation, the release of sperm from the testes. Now we will have a look on the oogenesis in female. Where does it start? So ovarian follicles, it starts in the ovarian follicles present in the ovaries. So ovary is also gland of females. Ovary is also going to have germinal epithelium inside it. So ovary is having the outer cortex region and inner medulla region. So in the medulla region there are ovarian follicles, and these ovarian follicles only will produce what? Will be involved in oogenesis. 1. So ovarian follicles are at the stage of meiosis prophase 1. So this is important here, that in these follicles which are present in the ovarian tissue only are at the stage prophase 1. They are arrested because this whole step is formation of primary follicles have started in embryo, and in the embryo girl, when the embryo girl was there inside the mother only, then only in her the number of primary oocytes which she will be taking birth with are already made and are arrested at prophase 1. They gone at G0 stage of their cell cycle. So it is the quiescent stage, which is the inactive state, so they are arrested at this stage. But by the activation at the puberty, when the pituitary hormones like FSH and LH are released by the pituitary gland, follicle stimulating hormone and LH, then they further grows. Then only the primary follicle can further grow and can result into the further step of the meiosis. So FSH grows the follicle, and work of FSH is to grow the follicle and mature the follicle. Means follicle also go under various stages, like it turn into it is primary already, then it will turn into secondary, then it will turn into tertiary. We will study that in the next lecture, that how the primary follicles are changing their arrangement of cells. From squamous it becomes cuboidal, a layer of cells, granulosa cells. Then it also make a capsule around it. So the maturation of follicle is the next topic, but it is under the effect of follicle stimulating hormones. So it is making the follicle growing, and LH surge means release of LH luteinizing hormone in large amount will what it cause? It cause ovulation on the 14th day of the cycle, reproductive cycle. It will result in the release of ovum from the follicle, mature follicle. So this is under the effect of LH hormone. Now what is the start? Where it starts? So I already told you it starts in the embryonic life, and ovaries has nearly 7 lakh follicles. Till puberty only 3 lakh are left. So the girl is born with around 7 lakh follicles in her ovary, but when she reaches the puberty, till then 4 lakhs follicles have already means died. Cell death has occurred, and only 3 lakhs, nearly 3 lakhs are left. And then at puberty it starts. The first primary follicle grows. So already formed embryo in embryonic life will get a we can say signal to get activate during the puberty for continuing their meiosis stage further. Now what is the result? It undergoes meiosis 1 and meiosis, complete meiosis 1, not undergo but completes its meiosis 1 now, and then meiosis 2. Both times it is producing unequal cells. This is important, that in oogenesis the unequal cells are produced, and it will result in the first meiosis division will result in the formation of secondary oocyte and first polar body, and the second meiotic division will also complete after the fertilization by the sperm, and it result in the formation of ovum and second polar body. So this is about oogenesis, and I want you to learn and read this from the NCERT, as well as if you are referring to any reference book, like you are using Pradeep's Fundamental Biology, or you are studying from Truman's Biology. These are good books. Comprehensive Biology also you can take. So these are good books. In them the concepts are very clear, they are described in detail, so you can also understand. If you find NCERT language little difficult, go through the reference book. Now there is a flow chart, which is this flow chart is given in your NCERT also. So I want you to have a look at there also and make this flow chart in your notebooks, and make this difference between also in your notebook. Now spermatogonia, this is the spermatogonia at puberty. It is doing the first step, that it's just increasing its number. So now it is not meiosis but mitosis. So spermatogonia, which will be diploid only because it is the mother cell, and now it is undergoing equal divisions it is doing, so that to increase its number. And now these cells, these 4 cells will be known as primary spermatocytes. And these primary, one degree I have written, so it does not mean anything else, it means primary spermatocytes. Primary spermatocytes. So these are primary spermatocytes, and out of this, one will one will become, we can say, is activated and become large in size and undergo meiosis. First meiotic division, resulting in 2 equal cells, and then it will undergo second meiotic division. First meiotic division is started, we can say this cell has not divided. We are starting the first meiotic division here. So this is increased in size. So from all the primary spermatocytes, one of the dividing primary spermatocytes, one will become enlarged. That means it will grow, growth phase, or grow in size. And then that biggest, we can say, primary spermatocyte only will undergo first meiotic division. So this is first meiotic division. It is undergoing first meiotic division and resulting in the 2 cells which are known as secondary spermatocytes. So these are secondary spermatocytes, 2 secondary spermatocytes. From primary spermatocyte, we are getting 2 secondary spermatocytes, and then it will undergo second meiotic division. So this cell will undergo resulting in the 2 cells. This cell will also undergo resulting in the 2 cells. So at last we will get 4 spermatids. We will get 4 spermatids here, and then differentiation will take place, and it will result in the formation of 4 sperms here. So you can see the spermatids are just circular, but after the differentiation, it has resulted in the formation of the we can say flagella as tail, and head and neck is there. Proper structures are there. So we will study that further later, but head is there, neck is there. So sperms are formed and tail is there. So this is differentiation. Spermatids have undergone differentiation and formed the sperm. This process, do you remember? So this process is spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis. The whole process is spermatogenesis. This is the difference. Whole meiosis 1, meiosis 2, and also the starting initial increase in number mitosis. This whole is spermatogenesis. But only the step from here, the changing of the spermatids into the sperms, this step is known as spermiogenesis. The Genesis word is very special word. Wherever Genesis word is added, that means formation, synthesis, formation, making of something. So formation of sperms from spermatids is known as spermiogenesis. Now we are moving to the understanding about the oogenesis. So oogenesis, it's written fetal life, means embryonic life. During embryonic period, the oogonia, and this is oogonia, mother cell, it is undergoing mitotic differentiation, means it is making all the total number of oogonia mother cells which will be there for the whole lifetime, for the whole reproductive phase. It will be formed at the fetal stage only. So here multiplication has started in the embryonic life, and here in the males it is taking place, this mitosis is taking place at puberty only. This is the difference. So in the males, during the spermatogenesis, this mitosis will also start at the puberty. But in the females, this mitosis is going on in the fetal life or ovary, in the embryo of the girl. Then when birth takes place, then it has limited number of, we can say nearly 7 lakh of primary oocytes, and out of them then girl becomes child, then girl reaches the puberty, and then only one primary oocytes will undergo activation under the effect of hormones FSH and LH, and then it will undergo first mitotic division. So first mitotic division prior to ovulation, release of ovum take place, and here you can see how unequal division it is. One cell is very small called as first polar body, another cell is called as secondary oocyte. So this is first polar body and this is secondary oocyte. Then again in adult life, the second meiotic division occurs of the secondary oocyte. Polar bodies become very small in size, it cannot undergo meiosis too. So it become here arrested at this stage only. And only the cell which is undergoing to do meiosis second will be secondary oocyte. It will result in the division of meiosis too and form the second small polar body, and then lastly finally we get a ovum. So this is the result. Ovum result from the oogenesis is a process which result in the formation of oogenesis results in single ovum, one ovum, and from one primary oocyte. Okay, so this should be clear. From one primary oocyte, one ovum is only formed after meiosis 1, meiosis 2. But here, from one bigger primary oocyte, it equally divides. It forms two secondary spermatocytes, and then it further divides into one more time to give rise to 4 spermatids, and therefore from one primary oocyte the total number of sperms formed are 4. So this is also a difference between that number. We have written resulting into the 4 sperms resulting into the 1 ovum, resulting in 1 ovum. Okay, and resulting 4 sperms. 4 sperms and 4 spermatids. Formation of 4 sperms. Okay, so I hope this topic of spermatogenesis and oogenesis is clear with you. So read from your NCERT, make the notes, draw the diagrams. Thank you.